As I'm sitting here quarantined, I use it to my advantage. Confused times, but there's been no damage. A relieved sigh from a wounded bandage. I feel so calm, like it's easy to manage, but many will differ because they can't really understand it. If you're wondering why I'm so subtle during these casualties, it's because I'm used to calamities. It's part of my sanctity. Let me picture you my fantasy. This is a painting of my reality. I contemplate and I concentrate. We tend to do that when there's a lot at stake. Coming from emptiness and a sort of hate, I couldn't be that lucky number 7 while in section 8. We were in a trap cage by fences. That's how most hoods are if you see through clear lenses. Surrounded by outside barriers as if it's a watchtower. While community police had that sole power to protect and serve was their slogan, but false advertisements will leave you broken. False promise that said in calmness does not become honest. By painting me a picture with fake polish as we worked so hard with no profit. Only thing rising was your pockets, so stop it. We were raised in an asylum in tight spaces, non-private, in a building that had high mileage, expected you to raise your child in, as we accepted blinded, because if we speak out, we're wild, and so we tend to keep silent. How my life has been struck in by so-called policy. Poverty has become the essence of my democracy. While options and opportunity depend on your community, my pathways were bleak with no sense of priority. But somewhere a pipeline is mentioned from school to prison, as if it was a norm from detention to a detention. As sadness and grief surrounded my gaze, with a shelter at home but no parents some days, siblings to foster I never asked to raise, while I sacrificed my hunger so they could be safe. I feel weak in class, I can't stay focused for long. My mind worries in fragments, it's a replayed song. Do I have ADHD? Is this how it feels? The hell are we discussing? These people are weird. How can they sit here and focus? It's just not interesting. I got shit to deal with, man. Please wrap up this lesson. Some days we would talk about slavery or Vietnam or Japan, or how crazy Hitler was to set up his plan. Sitting here pointing out all the world's mistakes, we're the heroes here, with some similar traits. And then, in a second, isn't it crazy how a complexion can choose the direction that you choose to step in? A mere vision of tint can change your mindset, or the cognitive thinking, I guess. Hypnotized to not realize that we're a mess. Taught how to hate in a society that we do not address. Because race is a topic that's so complex. But how do we ignore something that's so suppressed? Maybe it's because you're not the one that's being oppressed. Yeah, I seen different. A vision where lineage is stuck in a systematic prison, brainwashed into their predicament. What one can't control, one can't be held accountable. So how do we choose to live like you? Change from black to blue or a few shades lighter too? My mindset was all the resources that were given to me. At that age, nobody would listen to me. So I concentrate. A failure is what society illustrates as my fate. It's not about the choices we make. It's what's given on my plate. While constantly being watched and no options to evolve, I see the chaos all around me, so I paused. I had thoughts. Making it out must be the best escape, but an invisible chain is instilled in my fate. Man, carceral humanism is a fucked up state. But with wealth and plans, I must fluctuate, lead a positive trait out this empty space. My results of anger as they ridiculed, transformed into energy, physical, not the arrogant results of a fucking mule, but the motive to build a stepping stool, to return and give back what we once lacked, educate and separate from what distracts, set a common goal as our mind attracts, because only wolves are strongest while in a pack. So I'm setting this movement now together to change our circumstances here and forever. Not just for us, for our families too, loving brothers and sisters that look like you. I'm exhausted and tired of seeing those weary eyes that glistening in the light fades like that mother's smile as she has to bury her seed, pain to see her cry, as she asks God why she's fragile inside. And now we're on this mortified human life with corruption some are blinded by. Inequity has taken the power slide. Reality just hit for the normal mind. While we're in this predicament, just remember to be appreciative. Lots of things that we have taken for granted, like the structure and the opportunity that you were handed, isn't the same for every child that has once been stranded. While the public eye has been blinded and vanished, everyone was careless before COVID's transit. But now that we're all on the same planet, I hope you get it from our end and finally understand it. It's quarantine.